The rain poured heavily over the small town of Willow Creek, washing the sidewalks clean and leaving everything soaked in a fresh, earthy scent. Inside a tiny, time-worn cafe nestled on Main Street, Emily Carter wiped down tables, humming softly, to herself, completely unaware that today would change her life forever. While taking out the trash, Emily noticed something unusual. A brown leather wallet, half-soaked and abandoned on a bench just outside the cafe. She picked it up, wiping the water away with the sleeve of her jacket. It was thick, stuffed with crisp $100 bills, several thousand by her guess, along with sleek black credit cards and a driver's license bearing the name Daniel Reed. For a moment, Emily's breath caught. Her rent was overdue. Her car was on the verge of breaking down. Bills were stacked high on her tiny kitchen table. Just a few of those bills could ease so many burdens. But almost instantly, she pushed the thought aside. It's not mine. It never was. She pressed the wallet to her chest, firm in her resolve. Inside the cafe, Emily asked her boss if she could leave a little early. She tucked the wallet safely into her bag and headed out into the rain, determined to return it. The address on Daniel's license led her to an upscale apartment building she'd only seen from a distance. The kind where luxury cars lined the curb and doormen in pressed uniforms stood guard at the entrance. She hesitated at the door, feeling out of place in soaked sneakers and worn-out jeans. The doorman eyed her suspiciously. "Miss, can I help you?" "I found this," she said, holding up the wallet. "It belongs to Daniel Reed. I just wanted to return it." After some back and forth and a call upstairs, she was finally allowed in. Moments later, the elevator dinged, and there he was, Daniel Reed. Tall, athletic, with a look of confusion that quickly shifted to astonishment. "You found my wallet?" he asked, incredulous. Emily nodded, handing it over. "Here. Everything's inside. I didn't touch a thing." Daniel flipped it open, checking the cash, the cards, everything exactly as he'd left it. "You didn't take anything?" he asked again, still stunned. "No," Emily replied softly, offering a small, shy smile. "It didn't belong to me." There was a long pause. In Daniel's world, one crowded with pretenders and opportunists, honesty like this was rare, almost unimaginable. "I need to at least give you something," he insisted, reaching for his wallet. But Emily quickly shook her head. "I didn't do it for a reward. I just thought you'd want it back." Before he could argue, she waved, gently, turned, and walked away, leaving muddy footprints behind. He stood there, wallet in hand, watching the elevator doors close. Something stirred inside him, a feeling he hadn't felt in a long time. Gratitude, admiration, curiosity. Daniel Reed, one of the youngest tech millionaires in the country, realized he had just met someone entirely different from anyone else in his carefully guarded world. Someone whose heart was worth more than all the wealth he'd ever earned. And deep down, he knew. This wouldn't be the last time he saw Emily Carter. Not if he had anything to say about it. The rain had stopped, but the memory of that simple act of kindness kept replaying in Daniel's mind like a song on loop. Days after Emily returned his wallet, he found himself distracted during meetings, ignoring calls, skipping high-profile events. Unheard of, for a man who'd built a tech empire before 30. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't shake the image of the young woman who had handed him back a fortune, and walked away without asking for a thing. Finally, Daniel knew he had to find her. He returned to the cafe where she worked, unsure of what he'd even say. As soon as he walked through the doors of the small, cozy shop, he saw her. Emily, her brown hair in a messy bun, was wiping down a booth near the window. She looked up, surprised. "You again?" She laughed gently, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. Daniel smiled, suddenly nervous, a feeling foreign to him. "Yeah, I figured I owed you more than just a thank you." Emily blushed, waving him off. Really, it's okay. I just did what was right. Most people wouldn't have, Daniel said sincerely, especially when it could have solved a lot of problems. A silence settled between them. Emily shrugged, her voice soft but certain. I'd rather struggle honestly than succeed by stealing. That simple sentence struck Daniel harder than he expected. In a world filled with ruthless deals and betrayals, her words were a kind of truth he hadn't heard in years. They sat down for coffee. One cup turned into two. Two turned into an entire afternoon. Emily's dreams were simple, yet beautiful. She wanted to finish her nursing degree, help people, maybe open a shelter for single mothers one day. She didn't dream of yachts or jets. She dreamed of making a difference. Daniel, who had everything money could buy, realized he had never wanted something, or someone, so deeply. He wanted to be a part of her world. In the weeks that followed, their bond grew stronger. Daniel came to the cafe nearly every day, sometimes just to share a few minutes of conversation. Emily never treated him like a celebrity. She treated him like a person. And that was exactly what Daniel needed. 1. Evening. Beneath the soft glow of fairy lights at a small-town fair, Daniel took her hand as they strolled along the grassy path. You know, he said, voice low and hesitant, I never believed in fate, but I think I was meant to lose that wallet. Emily laughed, giving his hand a squeeze. Maybe you were meant to find something more important than money. Daniel stopped walking, turned to face her, and pulled out a small velvet box. Emily's heart skipped a beat as he dropped to one knee, right there in front of the popcorn stand and Ferris wheel, surrounded by strangers. Emily Carter, he began, his voice trembling. You returned my wallet without asking for anything, but you gave me everything I didn't know I was missing. Would you make me the luckiest man alive and marry me? Tears welled in Emily's eyes as she nodded, speechless. The fair erupted in cheers as Daniel slipped the delicate ring onto her finger, sealing the start of a new life neither had planned, but both had secretly dreamed of. And so, a lost wallet, a single, selfless act, and a chance encounter in the rain became a love story the small town of Willow Creek would never stop talking about. Because sometimes the greatest treasures aren't found in wallets, they're found in hearts.